Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello, friends. So today I'm very honored to have Dr. Mehul with me, joining me to talk about his journey. So I think a lot of students look out for inspiration, but here is somebody who's inspiring so many, students himself. And just your journey, Dr. Mehul, that you had put out on social media that so many of our friends have read, where you started off from a private medical college, you lost your parents, and then, you've come out of so much adversity and come out stronger with this result, just goes on to show that, you never let your present define your future. And that is so amazing and heartening to see. So first of all, many congratulations, and I am so proud of you, if I can say that. So how are you feeling?
Thank you so much, ma'am. I, I don't really know what to say. It's all feels a bit surreal right now. You know, being interviewed by Unacademy, I never thought this would ever happen. So, especially from my background, it means a lot for me, and it also means a lot for the people who studied in my college. Also, they are also very proud of me. All my juniors, all my professors, they are all very proud of me. It's a huge moment for our college to have someone actually make it this far.
That's so amazing. And you will be remembered by your juniors for so long that if he could do it, I think we can also do it. Otherwise, that is one big barrier that stops so many of us in the beginning itself, that probably it is not my place. I probably cannot reach it. So that just that pushing that glass ceiling, breaking that glass ceiling is such a big step that you've done for so many students of private colleges across India. So, kudos on that. And I'm so happy for you. So, it's imperative that we use your journey and your strategy, and, we tell the students that what did you do right that, that they should follow.
Well, I think first of all, you have to have some self-belief, because so many of my juniors, even though they are smarter than me, they have not even attempted the exam because of self-doubt for some other reason. So it is very important to actually believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, I think you are out of the race before it even starts. So I was fortunate enough to have a couple of professors when I was in final year who really believed in me and actually made me believe that I was actually better than what I thought I was worth. Because, when you study in a private college, I don't know if it applies to other colleges as well, but a lot of people will make you feel bad that you even chose a private college, and it is very demotivating. So most people will actually demotivate you. So you just have to find that one or two people that actually makes you believe in yourself and makes you want to achieve these big things. And you just have to hang on to that. No matter what happens in life, you just have to hang on to those little bits of inspiration that will always stick with you.
True. That is so true and so inspiring. So tell us, when did you actually start, preparing for your PG entrance focused PG preparation, and what was your strategy like?
Well, first of all, my journey was very unconventional. I don't think I can ever recommend what happened to me to for people to try the same thing. Basically, I completed my internship around 2018, I think. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I couldn't study for a long time because my father, he had a stroke and he was bedridden, and taking care of him was a 24/7 job, and we didn't have a lot of savings. So I straight away had to go to work, and I had to work nonstop and to make a lot of money. And unfortunately, he passed away by the end of 2019. And it was only after that that I really seriously started to study, because first of all, I had some financial problems. I couldn't pay for coaching actually, and it was very difficult to actually prepare before that. So my preparation really began from 2020 January onwards. And the first few months were a bit tough because, first of all, it was a long time after I finished house agency. That means a long time since, I was studying, and because you lose that track, it's very difficult to actually come back to that, especially in the first few months. And also because losing both your parents, it's a very difficult time, and you're living alone. That's a lot of adjustment to happen in your life also, not just in studies. But things got a little better, and slowly, once you see the videos, you make notes, you study, you do a question bank, you will get confidence that okay, I can actually do this thing, and then things get a little easier. It won't be in 1 week or 1 month, but slowly, after 4 to 5 months, you will get confidence, and your rank will start to improve. And then COVID came, and then that was another twist. And uh, I live in Trivandrum, and our area was very hard hit in Kerala. And so I stopped studies and I joined COVID duty actually. In spite of many people telling me not to do that, I felt that was important at that point of time, that I should, contribute something. And I went into COVID duty for about around 6 months. Around September last year, I think, was when I joined COVID duty. And that was actually a very good experience. Actually, I don't know if it's good, but it was something that I felt had to be done. And after about 6 months, I felt that I had contributed whatever I could, and if I was supposed to contribute more, I should, increase my skills, and that is only going to be going to happen by doing PG. So I decided to leave out around February to once again focus on my studies, and another 4 or 5 months and a lot of twists and turns with the exam postponements, and after that, finally, I have a decent rank in the end.
Yeah, it is far more than decent, and I think this is such a big shout out to so many, students who have dropped for many years, and then it becomes so difficult to pick it back up. I think that inertia makes it even more difficult than the others. So many, students, so many moms who've stopped studying, and I know so many such people who tell me that I have small kids. It becomes very difficult for me to pick up my books again. So I think you are such a big inspiration to them as well, that it is possible after a break. It might take an initial part of struggle where you have to persist and you have to work harder than the rest, but it is not impossible.
Yes, definitely. I think again it all comes to believing in yourself, because if you don't believe, if you already go in with the mindset that it is already too late for me and I'm already so much behind. Okay, because everybody will have these feelings, because even for me, so many of my batchmates have already joined PG when I started preparation in 2020, and anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, that will always affect you mentally. So you just have to get past that and just believe in yourself, and don't let these negative thoughts really drag you down.
Right. So well put. Now, when we start to talk about the PG coaching, there are so many resources which are out there, and it has evolved also over a period of time, which I have, personally witnessed ever since I started preparation back in 2015, where we had face-to-face classes, and now we've moved on to live classes, on an online platform like Unacademy. So, how did you find your kind of thing amidst this, that this is what is working for me, and not get lost amongst so many resources which are there?
Yes, I am a big believer in that. You do not have to do too many resources, because a lot of the things will be overlapped only. There's nothing, some differences will be there, but ultimately the important things will usually be same from almost all the platforms. So
Yeah.
it depends on each individual. I mean, I cannot speak for everyone. I mean, you have to go out and see. There are so many free videos nowadays that anybody can go and see and look at what your weaknesses are, and look at what videos really connect with you, may really help you understand. And you have to trust your gut instincts when you see something like that. And another thing is that you have, as much as videos help, you have to give some importance to the question banks, because that is really going to be important in developing your exam skills, which is almost as important as watching the videos and getting your concepts correct. Because as much as you work hard, if you do not have good exam management, I think you will struggle to get your desired rank.
Yes. So how did you, actually plan your day with videos, with previous year questions, with MCQs? So what was your plan like? That these are the things that I have to cover, and I'm going to break up my day into these parts, and this is what I'm going to do. So what did it look like?
Well, it depends on whether you are starting for your preparation from the for the first time, or you are starting revision. For the approach to both are a bit different. If you are starting your preparation for the first time, I think you just need to see as many videos as possible, make your own notes, and try to cover as much as you can as fast as you can. Because and don't spend too much time on a single subject, because that is always a big trap. You will just keep on doing a little small subjects. You'll do anesthesia for 1 month. That will be a complete waste, and you should not get into that kind of trap. But when you do a revision, I think you need a more of a plan. I mean, once you do your notes, you will have an idea what is your strength and what areas you are really weak in, and you have to make a plan accordingly. Spend little less time for your strength, but not ignore it completely. But your weaknesses and proportional to the number of questions you are likely to get for the exam. So there are certain subjects that you are likely to get more than 20 questions for the exam, and those are really crucial, and you cannot ignore those subjects. If you ignore those subjects, your rank will go down.
Yeah.
And you have to PYQs. I think you can keep it for the latter end of your preparation, because anyway, I think most coaching institutes, when they teach you, they will also mention the PYQs as well. So I think it's okay if you do it in the last few weeks also. I think that's okay. And you can probably, it's better to limit yourself to the last 2 or 3 years, because the patterns are always changing these days. And if you're going 10 years back and all, I don't think it will be very useful. And these days, even COVID is a completely new disease. You'll get 5 to 6 questions on that, and that doesn't only come up last year only. So I don't think there's much point in going too far back. Only do what you think is necessary.
Right. So 3 years previous year questions, something towards the latter half of your preparation. In the beginning, focus more on getting that information that will help you, do the MCQs, that help you do the grand tests. Speaking of grand tests, what was your approach to them? Did you start upfront, or like what was your frequency? How did you review? Again, a lot of confusion amongst students with that.
I think when I started, I was doing about about 1 month or so, because when you're starting first time itself, I think that is enough. Yeah. Later on, you should increase your frequency to, and once you start revision, it should be around once a week, ideally. And I think that is ideal. I don't think there is, if you try to do more, you won't be reviewing them, which would be a waste. And another approach, I think, is you should not focus too much on your marks for grand tests. A lot of people, I think, they are afraid of doing grand tests because they fear they will get less marks, and somehow that is going to affect them. It should not be like that, because grand test, it is only to develop your exam skills mostly, to find out your weak areas, and especially to have time management, because it should not be that during the exam you will fail to do 20 questions. That will be very bad. I mean, that if you don't finish your exam, I think your rank is going to be really affected, and it is probably going to be a little more difficult for people who are not very good with English, because some questions, they are basically playing with your language. So anyway, all of these things will obviously need practice, and so don't worry too much about your marks, and focus more on your exam skills, and especially maybe even try to do a little bit faster in your GTs, and you will probably do in your exams. And always, it's good to do GTs that are going to be a little bit tougher than the exam, so you will be adequately prepared.
Yes. So I think to summarize, don't be scared of grand test, first of all, and don't be scared of that result. A lot of people worry a lot about the rank that they're getting and if it's stuck. So don't worry too much about it. All right. So you have to learn from your mistakes, but don't get too bogged down by what you're getting from them. So very, very important to learn the time skills, the time management that you spoke of, which is so very important in the actual exam. So if we speak of INI-CET per se from the exam that you gave, what was your exam day strategy like? What did you plan up before the exam, and then how did it go?
Well, exam day strategy, I just have to take it like any other GTA only, because if you think about it too much, I mean, you will get really stressed out. So it's important to probably compartmentalize and try to take it just like any other exam.
Yes.
And you have to read every question carefully, because and the option, because you will realize that most of the uh, direct questions most people will get, but real rank scoring are the tricky ones where you have to just rule out options.
Yeah.
And you have to be very careful about that, and you have to take your time, read all the options, consider all the options. And when you have an exam like INI-CET, you have to be a bit more aggressive, because the seats are less, and there is no point, being over conservative, because you have to get into really top ranks to really have a chance. So attempting about more than 190, 195 questions is about what you should really aim for in this kind of exam. For NEET is probably different, and you have to be a bit more careful, because really so many people are going to give NEET, and the ranks really matter a lot more for that kind of exam.
True. Right. And as far as reading between the lines go for INI-CET, and the reliance on previous year questions and the repeat topics is all again something that has to be emphasized. That it is something that you have to strategize well for, and INI-CET can work out really well for you. If you know the must-know topics, if you know the high topics which have been repeated over and over again. So I think that is something which is very, very important that you can learn from the exam. Apart from that, if we talk about Unacademy and the classes that you refer to, anybody that you particularly want to thank, or apart from myself, anybody that you want to call up.
First of all, I think Unacademy is a really great platform for learning, and it actually provides a lot of things that you don't really get with other platforms. There are so many educators that you can really find out who you really connect with, and you can just find out their previous courses, and you can really go through it. And you can also obviously go for the live classes. Although when I got Unacademy, I was basically in the revision phase, so I was not really looking for that many live classes, and I was looking more to strengthen my weak areas. And there are so many great educators like Preeti madam and Nikita madam and yourself madam. And another great thing about Unacademy is that you have educators like Nikita madam and yourself madam, where you are actually covering all the subjects. And sometimes that actually really helps, because when you have a specialist, they sometimes they go into a lot of depth that because of their passion for the subjects, obviously, but sometimes a lot of that doesn't really come for an MCQ exam, unfortunately. So it's sometimes it helps to have another point of view, where you're exclusively looking at the high yield topics, your important topics, the volatile topics, and that really helps, especially in the revision phase, to really consolidate what you have already learned.
Yeah, very well said. Actually, when we talk about this specialist, if I talk about myself teaching radiology, I there is always a baseline thing that you assume that the student knows. But when I'm teaching other subjects, because I don't know the baseline also, so I have to start from the baseline and then I build my way up. So that reflects in the teaching, I think. So that is really, a great observation that you put. So thank you so much. And I think what students can take away from the Unacademy app is the beauty that it has recorded as well as live lectures. So if you are looking to build concepts, I think live lectures are the way to go for the students who are probably junior and starting out their preparation, because it helps in that connect, it helps in that live doubt solving. If you are in your revision phase, you can always go back in time and look out for the best course which suits your timeline, and see that. So I think that is the best part of Unacademy Plus that we can tell the students. Any parting words that you want to give to your juniors who are now looking for NEET PG? So many of them, in the group also, so many of them have messaged you that we're feeling very disheartened, we are feeling very down in the dumps, how to start, and then what is it that we can do in these last 40 odd days that can really change and do wonders. So first of all, first question is, can we do it? I think the answer to that is a unanimous yes. And then the next question is going to be how. So I think you are the best person, I think, to guide them. How do you think, the students should now start?
Well, first of all, I think they have to leave or whatever was happened behind them, because you cannot, change the past, but you can only control the things that are under your control now. And 40 days, that's actually a lot of days when you consider it. And you have to stop wasting your time thinking about what has already happened. You can't do anything about it. Just focus on the future right now. There is enough time to make a huge difference. Believe me, even if you uh, uh, when I gave November INI-CET, I was actually doing COVID duty, and I took about 5 days leave before that exam, and I really crammed, and I got about rank 1,000. So even just a 5 days can make a huge difference like that. So 40 days, I think that's a lot of time to make a huge difference in your rank. And I think you have to just focus on your high yield concepts. Don't be too greedy. This is not the time to just start believing that you should cover everything about every subject. That is not going to happen, and that is also not necessary. And you should just focus on the high yield, revise those high yields again and again. Focus on the last 2-3 years PYQs, because those are probably the topics that are going to be repeated. Don't by heart the questions. Look at the topics and make those topics strong, because there's a high likelihood that those topics are going to be repeated again. And you have to just keep on revising as much as possible from now on, and just push yourself. It's only a little time is left, and definitely I think if you push yourself in the last 2 weeks, you will have a very good result in the end.
Yes, very true. So I think the first thing that you have to do is tell yourself that you can do it. That is half the battle won already, when you have that self-belief and that self-confidence that, yes, I can do it. So just forget about your past results, your past ranks, your GT scores. Forget about all the things which are pushing you down, and just tell yourself that I have these many days, and I can change the world in 30 days. So just give it your 100%. Focus on high yield points. Again, it's very important that you do it in the right direction. So high yield topics, previous year questions, weak topics, things that you find weak uh, are some things that you have to keep in mind. If I can just summarize what he has beautifully told us. So thank you so much, Dr. Mehul. It was so nice to talk to you and listen to you. And looking forward to meeting you very soon here at AIMS. So all the very best for
Thank
you.
you so much, ma'am. It is an honor to have talk to a legend like you also.
No, thank you so much. It is all my pleasure, and all the very best from my heart to you. And I am very sure that you're going to make a very, very good specialist and a very good resident for all your seniors who are waiting for you very desperately.
Thank you so much, madam.
All right. So take care and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.